Today, military guns will fire salutes and sporting events will pause for minutes of silence. Flags will fly at half-mast until the day of his funeral, which is yet to be announced. People have been coming out to express their grief.
He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall, which I have undertaken for more than 5 decades.
He succeeds me as Duke of Cornwall and takes on the responsibilities for the Duchy of Cornwall, which I have undertaken for more than 5 decades. News has spread quickly as we walk through Parliament Square. Across Britain, many people are hopeful. One idea stands out in cafes near Westminster and on the front pages of Sunday newspapers. King William Tye will shape the monarchy in the 21st century. The king waved to people from his car as he was leaving his home, Clarence House, right here in London today. The last time today, all attention turns to Windsor, not for sadness, but for a fresh start. Just days after receiving a blessing at Westminster Abbey from the Archbishop of Canterbury, Princess Catherine and Prince William made their first public appearance. Royal insiders are calling this the beginning of a shared reign. King Charles III, now under medical care and resting at Sandringham, has officially passed daily royal duties to his son and daughter-in-law. The Archbishop's blessing was not just a ceremony, it symbolized continuity, stability, and trust. Standing beneath the same arches where Charles was crowned 2 years ago, the Archbishop spoke words that resonated with the nation. As this crown moves through hands of service, may it be held with duty. However, it was Princess Anne who made a memorable moment in history. She stepped forward to give Catherine the new Queen Consort's crown made by Gerard and Company, the royal jeweler since 1735. This crown with Burmese rubies, sapphires, and diamonds from the late Queen Elizabeth's collection represented legitimacy and respect. A palace statement explained that 2 versions of the crown were created, one central crown kept in the Tower of London for major ceremonies, and a lighter ceremonial crown for royal events, which Catherine wore briefly during her blessing. After the ceremony, as the Abbey bells rang across London, people became fascinated by the calm and composed princess. One observer said she wasn't just receiving a crown, she was accepting a nation's trust. The Windsor walkabout followed. A few hours after the wedding, William and Catherine made their first official appearance as the new leaders of the monarchy in Windsor. Thousands of people filled the long walk, waving Union Jacks and holding flowers. They wore badges that said, "For the future, William and Catherine." The atmosphere was exciting and full of anticipation, but also heartfelt, as if everyone was waiting for a family reunion. William walks at the front, showing a sense of duty and a humble presence as if he feels the weight of his role. Catherine wears a dove-gray coat that fits her well. She greets the crowd with a warm smile, making everyone feel seen. Kids bring her crayon-drawn cards and she kneels, her eyes crinkling joyfully. An older veteran leans in and says, "God bless the new queen." She replies softly, "God bless the king." This is more than just a parade. It marks a significant change. It feels like a quiet passing of responsibility filled with emotion. Palace insiders have noted that they want to avoid the idea of a Regency puppet show. One aide says they are co-stewards, equals in the storm. Camilla is not present. Clarence House describes her absence as reflection time after the morning's events, which seems reasonable. However, the crowd notices. One commentator said Westminster crowned the title. Windsor showed who wears the soul. Social media lights up with hashtags like Blessing of the Future, Your Crown of Catherine, and Sought the Anchor. People expressed their admiration, with some mentioning Princess Anne as a key figure keeping the royal family grounded. A mom from Nottingham tears up for the cameras, stating, "Full circle from stiff duty to real heart." Behind the scenes, the planning is precise, but the moment feels genuine and spontaneous. They choose to forego complete security, showing confidence and openness. William kneels to place a child's wildflower bouquet at the King Charles III Memorial Oak's roots, paying tribute to their roots in history. Catherine stands quietly, understanding that each moment is shaping their legacy. Cameras capture a powerful scene of Catherine and Anne holding hands at the event's end. No words are needed, just their grip showing unity and strength. News outlets like the BBC, Sky, and ITV all report the same message: not a crowning, a consecration. It certainly feels like that. This marks the sacred handover of responsibility without any scripts involved. Behind palace walls, not everyone is celebrating. Camilla's close friends are worried about how quickly the leadership change happened. One experienced courtier speaking privately said, "The Queen gave the throne years of stability, and days later the story is changing. It feels like the shift happened without any preparation. But the public, they seem okay with it." The latest YouGov poll shows that 84% think the timing is wise. Catherine's popularity has soared since 2022. People are enthusiastic and supportive. Globally, viral images of Catherine bowing before Anne with the crown above her are everywhere. CNN called it the decade's shockingly powerful image. It shows that this is not just a change of a crown, but a handover of responsibility. As the sun set behind Windsor, the bells rang out, not somber but full of hope, signaling a new beginning. William and Catherine waved goodbye, showing they were ready to take the lead. The day after the blessing, Buckingham Palace buzzed with activity. Anne's crowning of Catherine went viral overnight, but inside it felt more like a strategy meeting than a celebration. There were questions about who is really in charge. Camilla is at the center. The palace says she is stepping back for Charles's health checks, which is reasonable, but skipping the Abbey and the Windsor appearance raises eyebrows. Staff are careful with language, calling it private time at Ray Mill. Those close to her feel she is being sidelined. She watched the events unfold from a distance. And one friend said, Anne's words were touching, but the underlying message, Catherine is now the leader everyone looks to. It's surprising for those who have seen the royal family for years to witness this shift. After the blessing, the communications staff changed how they worked. What used to be shared between Buckingham and Clarence is now focused on Wales. They called it a temporary fix. Observers noted this as a potential sign of deeper issues. Charles approved it after his doctor's visit, but rumors suggest Anne pushed for it. "Relax, brother. They're ready." That statement, "they're ready," became the new motto, simple yet powerful. Windsor seems to be signaling a farewell to the old ways and welcoming a new, more vibrant approach. Catherine's leadership in the Commonwealth Forum quickly took shape. Her schedule filled after her blessing. She hosted a luncheon for Commonwealth youth ambassadors at Kensington Palace, focusing on education and innovation, showing she is ready to lead. Public response was positive, with the Times of London calling her the people's diplomat. However, inside the palace, there was tension. Camilla's private secretary resigned shortly after the blessing and staff were reassigned, indicating a power shift. Princess Anne worked to maintain stability. She visited Charles to give him updates and emphasized family unity. When asked if the changes were permanent, Anne said, "The crown doesn't wait for comfort. It waits for courage." This statement highlighted the growing difference between Anne's openness and Camilla's silence. While Camilla's friends said she remained a loyal companion to the king, her role in public faded as Catherine took on more responsibilities. Rumors of a dual monarchy by duty began, suggesting William and Catherine would share royal duties. The Archbishop of Canterbury said a blessing prepares hearts for future leadership, which seemed to support Catherine's rising role. Catherine was also active, visiting a children's hospice and preparing to lead the Commonwealth Youth Forum, showing her importance in various areas. Those close to Charles said he felt proud of Catherine despite the changes. He encouraged her to shine. The power shift was evident as Catherine and William took on greater roles, marking the beginning of a new royal era. The Sandringham visit marked a nation's renewal. The sun set low in the afternoon, casting a warm glow as the motorcade arrived, and the crowd responded with quiet applause and flag waving. This was the first public appearance since the blessing, and the excitement was palpable. Thousands gathered to witness the handover. Charles was not visible inside, but white roses and church bells showed he was present in spirit. Wills and Kate stepped out together, dressed simply in navy clothes, sending a clear message of unity and purpose. They walked down a familiar path with genuine smiles, fully engaged. This event celebrated those who supported Charles during his quieter period and highlighted the new leader stepping forward. Catherine spoke with an elderly gardener who gave her white lilies for the king, showing her warmth and care for others. Wills took time to connect with a group of scouts, stressing the importance of unnoticed service. Inside, Anne led the meeting with kindness and strength, reminding everyone that the crown represents responsibility, not just a symbol of status. Catherine later reflected on how Anne's words resonated with her, reinforcing the message of duty. As twilight fell, Catherine met with leaders from various organizations to promote real connection over flashy displays, indicating a shift towards community-focused efforts. While this new direction was emerging, Camilla's team expressed frustration over feeling sidelined and struggled with the media coverage, suggesting tension within the palace. Charles appreciated Catherine's work and recognized the continuity she represented. As invitations to the Youth Forum went out, Catherine was informally seen as Her Majesty the Queen Consort designate, marking a quiet transition. In private moments, she and Anne acknowledged the significance of the future. As preparations continued, the story shifted from a simple handover to a new direction led by Catherine, who carried hope for the future. The Commonwealth Youth Forum began with dawn breaking over Westminster under light rain. Delegates from more than 40 countries filled the hall. Young leaders, cultural figures, and voices of faith all paid attention. Catherine entered wearing a sharp ivory suit, and her crown of service caught the light. She spoke without a script, her warmth filling the room. The Commonwealth isn't just about maps. It's about faith leading through service. The crowd responded with applause, and many veterans recalled her statesmanlike presence. Catherine listened and interacted, discussing education, women's achievements, and green initiatives. She even sat on the floor with kids from Nairobi and Delhi enjoying their dreams. Cameras captured her connection with them, highlighting a sense of togetherness. Anne watched proudly and told someone at the Foreign Office, "She's nailed it. True power doesn't demand." In Wiltshire, Camilla made a low-key visit to a literacy event. Her appearance was noted, but she felt overshadowed by Catherine's energy. Her team claimed it was a strategic move, but everyone's attention was on Catherine. As evening fell, Catherine finished with a strong message. "The crown's role is to remind, not command. Compassion is our strength." The crowd applauded for 2 minutes. Pundits called it Gen Z's anthem. Headlines read, "Queen Catherine charges Commonwealth ahead," showing a photo of her and Anne holding hands under a banner. In Sandringham, Charles watched with pride, recognizing Catherine's role in bringing people together in the Commonwealth. As night fell over London, one truth remained. Catherine didn't wear a crown, but she led authentically, emphasizing grace and transformation over mere titles. Christmas preparations began, a monarchy reborn. Charles was resting at Sandringham following his doctor's advice. He wasn't attending many public events, which was being described as time to reflect. He was preparing to hand over responsibilities to the next generation. Catherine, who acted as queen, led the holiday events. She focused on real connections rather than flashy displays, with activities like carols at the Abbey and walks at Sandringham. The palace was decorated with children's crafts representing shared joy. Even Anne smiled, saying, "This year feels different and gentler." On December 23rd, Catherine spoke at a special event at Westminster Abbey. She stood at the lectern where Elizabeth II last spoke, and her voice was clear as she encouraged strengthening community and kindness. The crown was nearby, but not on her head. This image of her was powerful and quickly spread, making her known as the people's queen. Meanwhile, there was a slow shift in leadership. Charles's break might last longer with William and Kate stepping up. No official regency title had been given, but the change was understood. Family unity relied on Anne's leadership, Catherine's warmth, and Charles's support. Camilla's position had become less significant. As William and Kate left Sandringham, the message was clear. The crown was ready to embrace the present, a monarchy reborn in empathy. Catherine's role was not just a side job, it was her passion. She had built it over months with late-night sketches and dedication. Her focus was on shared purpose in a divided world, which Anne quickly approved. Together, they created a strong partnership. Catherine connected people while Anne supported her. The palace team helped Charles and Wills work smoothly. Catherine's approach was new. She preferred honest conversations about girls' education and climate change instead of formal dinners. She involved scholars from around the world. A Foreign Office expert noted she was changing the game by prioritizing meaningful discussions. Her choice of the Gerard Crown of Service showed her commitment to ethical values. Meanwhile, Camilla faced challenges. Some charity events had been postponed, leading to worries about her role. Wills talked to Camilla, reminding her that change was necessary. Pundits saw signs of a power shift, but Catherine stayed focused on the future with a plan for a forum that highlighted youth voices. She believed in teamwork rather than taking center stage, and social media supported her vision. Charles watched from Sandringham and felt proud of the legacy Catherine was building, making sure everything was tied together. A reign defined by grace. Camilla's inner circle felt the chill. She was being left out of strategy meetings and press updates. One aide revealed she read the newspapers at dawn, saw the news stories, and noticed hers were missing. It signaled a quiet end to a chapter. At Westminster Hall, Catherine and Anne stood by Charles's coronation seat. Catherine touched it and said, "Still his." Anne responded, "One day yours. What matters is you've earned it." This moment showed trust being passed between generations. As the monarchy changed, it would be led by a woman with a small crown and big hopes. Her reign would be about empathy. When the sun rose, every paper declared, "She's here and the crown feels light." Is the "earned it" comment between Catherine and Anne a promise or a challenge? What do you think about this royal change?